So friends, from today onwards we are going to discuss theories of international trade, one of the important topic for Commerce Net exam. So what is the purpose of understanding this theory and what is meant by the international trade theories? International trade theories explains how countries traded with another historically. That is, the proper understanding of these theories give us an idea of how the global trade has been evolved. Okay, so basically the theories of international trade is classified into two categories. First one, classical or country based theories. Second one, modern or firm based theories. Let us take the first category, that is classical or country based theory. In country based theories, the international trade is explained from the perspective of countries. Okay, so according to this category, the theories are classified into three types. First one, theory of mercantilism. Second one, absolute cost advantage. And third one, comparative cost advantage. And take the second category, that is modern or firm based theory. And in firm based theory, the international trade is explained from the perspective of firms. Okay, and under these categories we have five theories. First one, factor proportion theory, country similarity theory, product life cycle theory, theory of global strategic rivalry, and the national competitive advantage theory. And these are the classification of international trade theories. In today's class we are going to discuss the first theory under the country based theory, that is theory of mercantilism. Theory of mercantilism is the very old theory of international trade. Then what is mercantilism? Mercantilism is an economic system which was common in Europe during 16th to 18th century. At that time, the European nations strongly believed that a nation's wealth and power is measured by the holding of its precious metals like silver and gold. And they also considered the favorable balance of trade as the power of nation. Favorable balance of trade means export greater than import. Another interesting feature is that at that time the precious metals are considered as the medium of exchange. It means today we use money as the medium of exchange. At that time precious metals are used as the medium of exchange. So in order to increase its holding of the precious metals, the government of that time adopted an economic policy which encouraged export and discouraged imports by using various trade barriers. And another important feature of mercantilism is that it is considered as a zero-sum game. It means the gain of one nation is always equal to the loss for another nation, because mercantilism always encourages export and it always discourages import. So automatically the gain of one country will be the loss for another country. This economic system is called mercantilism. So let us revise the points. First one, mercantilism was the common economic practice in Europe from 16th to 18th centuries. Second one, under mercantilism, a nation's power and wealth are measured by the amount of holding of precious metals like gold and silver. Third one, under mercantilism, they always focuses on favorable balance of trade. It means exports greater than imports. Fourth one, mercantilism encouraged exports and discouraged imports by using various trade policies. And last point, mercantilism is considered as a zero-sum game, that is, gain of one country is always resulted in loss of another country. So these are the important points about the system of mercantilism, and hope you understood, and thank you so much, and all the very best for your exam.